Welcome everybody. My name is Scott Marcus. This is Cassandra Peterson and R. Stavis. We're doing something a little different up here. What we're going to talk to you about is how we're coming up with a new line of comic books for the Elvira brand. And usually in licensing what you do is that you go out, you find a publisher, and then they have a writer, they have an artist, and hopefully everyone's minds meld and you come up with a product that everyone's happy with. We're going about it a little differently. We did have some people approach us saying, oh, we love Elvira, we want to do another comic book, and we said, great, send some treatments into us. We had a treatment where the Elvira character was at a school like Hogwarts, had an evil twin sister, and some frog friends and other furry animals. We said it doesn't really make that much sense. We had another one come into us where she had a robot butler. Didn't make much sense.
Much like the Jetsons.
Then we had someone come to us and said, well, we'll just have her like in the first couple frames, and then we'll do a whole story about something else, and then she can say goodbye at the end. So, none of these are really what we envision, really what Cassandra's envisioned for another comic book. So we're doing it a little differently. Through our friends at Comikaze, we put in touch with R.H. Stavis here, and I'll give you a little background on her. I'm not going to read it because I don't want to get it wrong. But R.H. has created the backstory for Tomb Raider, and also wrote Transformers, The War for Cybertron with Activision. She's also written a lot of different novels, books. She's right over down the aisle over there. You should see her. Very cool stuff. So we had R.H. come over to my house, had Cassandra come over, and I said, R.H., listen, I think you're awesome. I showed Cassandra a little bit of your stuff, but do your magic. You have a story I know that you probably come up with. I didn't hear it. I had Cassandra come over, and I said, well, I'm sure she came up with something pretty awesome, but I know you also have a story you always wanted to do, and that's how this whole thing's come to be. So we're kind of doing it backwards. We have a writer we like, we have an artist that will show you some concepts that we're working with, and then we're going to go find a publisher that gets it. So I'm going to turn it over to RH a little bit here and have her tell you. Well, I'm taking the best. Have RH tell you a little bit about what she envisions for this.
Okay, well, hi. Hi, everyone. Oh. Nice to meet you. It happened pretty much just like that. I write all kinds of things, novels, comic books, graphic novels, video games. And we did indeed meet through our friends at Comikaze. And when I came over and I heard these stories, my response was like, that's not what I would do. If you know my work at all, most of my work is very strong female characters. Yes, indeed. So that works well. And then aside from that, I like most of the time, not all the time, but most of the time I write dark, sexy, humor, horror. That's what I do. And I like to take it dark. I really do. In fact, in something else that I have, Diamond actually censored my panel. So when it got distributed, we had a censored panel. I'm still wanting to do that here. So we'll see how it goes.
Well, I'm Mistress of the Dark, so the dark fiction worked for me.
Right, there should be a panel that shows something horrible that we can't even show, it's so dark. But aside from that, yes, she had some amazing ideas actually, and we sat and we talked about what you had always envisioned, which was so much better than anyone had come up with for you. Really, brilliant, it's brilliant.
Thank you.
And it's true. And it just meshed so well because I said, you know, what I would want to do is I would want to make it dark, I want to make it sexy, I want to make it humorous, I want to make it fun. And fun for everyone who knows Elvira and already loves Elvira. And then again, even more fun maybe for people who have never even, you know, had the chance of knowing you well just yet. So we created something together and we basically came up with the origin. So that's what we're doing first, the origin story. And like I said, I don't want to give too much away, but it's definitely going to be associated with Halloween, which is awesome, yeah? There's going to be a lot of demons. Who's a fan of demons? I am a fan of demons. You never know who's going to show up, you never know. But yes, so we're going to have all kinds of lore about Halloween and how the Mistress of the Dark fits in, and it's going to be pretty cool. So.
Well, let me say, Cassandra, you have some very definite views of how you want the Elvira character portrayed out there in comic books, and what did you think of that?
Well, the Elvira character, believe it or not, is kind of become a little bit of an icon to some of you gals growing up. It's strange, I know, it's kind of sick, but who say, you know, it's a strong, sexy character. It's not like, because she's sexy, she's not a big bimbo. I mean, she's kind of a bimbo, she's kind of an idiot, but it's kind of, but strong, she knows what she wants, she gets herself into trouble, but she's the one who gets herself out of trouble. Nobody comes along and rescues her, you know, she doesn't have some guy who's got to get her out of trouble. She does things on her own, she makes mistakes, but she fixes them herself, okay? I'm always like, why do I have to do everything myself? But it is a character who I think a lot of women and girls especially relate to. I think men relate to it for a whole totally different reason, but I think women and girls do relate to Elvira as a strong sort of role model in a kind of twisted way, but you know. Still, it was very important to me that Elvira is portrayed that way in the comic book. And I have done a Marvel comic book, which was the comic book, a one-time thing of Mistress of the Dark, my movie. Hopefully you guys have seen that. And yeah. Okay. And I've also done a series of DC comic books, Elvira's House of Mystery. And then I did 9 bazillion episodes of Claypool. I don't know, you can call them episodes. I'm a television actress, so what do I know? A series of comic books with Claypool. And so now I'm really excited to be working with her. This is, first of all, she stole my body, which really...
no one can do that, I'm sorry.
But working with her because of the brilliant thing she's done, and she brought in an artist who I really like. Speaking of which, I'm going to show you guys a little taste of what we might do here, okay? I'm going to hand the mic to you.
Check this out, you guys. It's so awesome.
No one has seen this before. This is the first time. All right, why don't you tell us a little about this artist, because this is the kind of the third component of this crazy way we're trying to make a comic book.
Right, so going back a little bit, if I may, we approach things a little bit different, and the reason why is because I've worked in comics a long time, and I know a lot of great publishers in comics, as do you, and have picked up lots of their work. And what we really wanted to do is we wanted to get the vision that we had really put together, and we wanted to bring an artist, you know, that we all really loved first. You know, we didn't necessarily want to go with a publisher first and have them put something together that they felt was right. We'd rather be with a publisher who gets what we're doing, you know? And so when we spoke about what we were going to do, I had one person come to mind, and again, this is the same person I worked with on that censored panel, Jeff Zorno. So if you're familiar with his work, he is absolutely magnificent, incredible, incredible work. Over the top gore, over the top sexiness, everything that you could possibly want in a comic, basically. And he's the artist that did this and is connected to the book now. So again, we're all a team. We're a 3-person team at this point, and I think it's absolutely perfect. What do you guys think?
Yeah, so we're really excited about it. We want to, like she said, have our vision first, and then take it out and have someone do it, so that different things aren't foisted upon the Elvira character. You know what I'm saying? All right, so.
Well, this way, you know, it's also true to your fans. Exactly. You know, that's really important, because you guys are everything. You know, you guys are everything for everyone here who does anything in entertainment. And as she said, you know, like, this brand is huge, Elvira's huge, and she's a very specific character that needs to be written in a very specific way and drawn in a very specific way. And so we wanted to make sure that this really captures the essence of that for you.
Yeah, there's always whenever I do a licensed product, there's always a sense of, is this really Elvira, and is this what my fans are going to like, or is this like, kind of did it, and it doesn't really fit with, you know, the Elvira character. It's like, It's like the beer is a good Elvira thing, you know, the wine is a good Elvira thing.
The wine is great.
But the baby pablum, I don't know, it didn't work out. Okay, I didn't get that. Anyway. No, you've got to really know who your audience is and, you know why they like Elvira and then do something that's specific to that. So that's why we want to do it ass backward or whatever we're doing. So that we can get the Elvira essence in there, and then my audience will appreciate that because they like Elvira. Right? Is that what I'm saying? Okay, something like that. Yeah.
Well, you've also been sitting on this idea for a while. I mean, how many years has it been that you have, I know how many years you've been bugging me about it, but I know even before then you're bugging to do a comic book. I know comics are something you really do enjoy.
I do love comic books. I grew up with comic books. I loved them. It was really weird. When I was a kid, I was so into two comic books, which are so bizarre. I mean, Superman and Archie. I don't know. Okay, but and I was a comic book freak. I collected them. I looked all over for them. Went to the drugstores, you know, sat on the counter and had a sarsaparilla, you know. They just were inventing comic books back then. And I grew up on them and I loved them, and I just have this thing about I really want to do a comic book, like my pinball machine, for example. You know, pinball was kind of an old school thing, but I grew up playing pinball. I love it, and you know, I always wanted to do a pinball machine. So for me, doing a comic is like just it's not. It maybe isn't the most money-making thing in the world, but to me it's the coolest thing, one of the coolest things to have in the world. So that's why we're doing it.
And then our age, because we spoke before, you already were very familiar with the brand, and how did that all come to be?
Well, I grew up watching Elvira.
Duh.
Yeah, I mean, come on. I actually said, and I mean this with total respect, that if that job were not taken, I'd have done it, because I love it so much, you know? And she was amazing, like...
Well, it is taken.
Well, I'm sad, but I'm sad. But, you know, watching her on TV and seeing her movies, and like, her movie was amazing, and she was just perfect. It was like everything you want to be. If you love horror and you're a girl, that's what you wanted to be. Like, I may have dressed as you for Halloween. I might have done that one year.
The check is in the mail, I suppose.
Exactly. So when we spoke and all of this came about, it was such a huge honor for me too, because like I said, horror is absolutely my main thing. I love writing ridiculous, crazy, over the top, you know, blood and guts everywhere horror. And to be able to do that with you is huge. It's an honor, so thank you very much.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm excited about this project, I really am, and excited about kind of putting that Halloween back into Elvira or vice versa, because after all, Elvira is the queen of Halloween, and Halloween is the best holiday of all, right folks? Would you agree? I mean, just think about it, like I always say, you don't have to buy any stupid presents for anybody, you don't have to have any boring dinners with your relatives, just dress up and
But you can buy severed heads.
Yeah,
I mean, who doesn't, I don't know, maybe we should start a gift giving of, you know, here's arms and legs and heads.
I know, and who doesn't like severed heads?
I would appreciate that.
Exactly. Oh, God. Speaking of which, should I throw this in there? Speaking of severed heads, now that we're on the subject, today, it was supposed to be yesterday, we had a mechanical malfunction, but if any of you know, myself, Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, and Peaches Price did what we are calling Horror Hunt, and for the last several months we've been looking for the best horror film in America, and in the world actually. We got several entries from all over the world. The two winners are screening today at 5 o'clock here at Comikaze in room 306A and B, and I'm telling you guys, this is horror with a capital H. This is brutal, severed head, unbelievable horror. It's not for the kids. No one under 18, and as a matter of fact, can get in. You have to show ID. It is, but it is an amazing movie. You will not believe it. Amazing independent horror. I haven't seen anything like it, I've got to tell you. So please come by. I'll be there. Peaches Christ will be there. 5 o'clock today. The two movies are called, there's a short film, Other, which is about 7 minutes long, and then there's the feature film, Found, which are the two winning films. But please come by. You will not believe it. Bring a barf bag and a change of underwear. I'm not kidding. Okay.
Also good signs.
So just that is what we're doing. We're doing a comic book. We're finding the artists, we're finding the writers, and we're doing it our way. And I'm sure we'll find a publisher, so we'll bring it out here next year at Comikaze. We want to thank everyone at Comikaze for having us here this year, for the Elvira Museum, for having RH here, and all the other fantastic guests, and actually for putting us together. So thank you, everybody. Thank you.
All right, man.